Saddam Hussein's shadow still hangs over Iraq. His legacy is a complex and haunting one, filled with both fear and a strange sense of nostalgia for some. Even in death, his presence is felt. The streets of Iraq have seen countless mourners, some grieving the loss of a leader they once revered, while others celebrate the end of a tyrant. He was a brutal dictator, responsible for the deaths of countless Iraqis. Mass graves stand as silent witnesses to his reign of terror, a grim reminder of the lives lost. Yet he was also a charismatic leader who held on to power for decades. His speeches could rally a nation, instilling both fear and a sense of unity among his followers. Saddam's story is one of ambition, cruelty, and ultimately, defeat. From his early days in the Ba'ath Party to his dramatic downfall, his life was a turbulent journey. He rose from humble beginnings to become the absolute ruler of Iraq. Born in a small village, he climbed the political ladder with ruthless determination. He used fear and violence to crush his opponents and maintain his grip on power. His secret police and military forces were tools of oppression, silencing any form of dissent. His rule was marked by war and bloodshed. The Iran-Iraq War and the Gulf War left deep scars on the nation, both physically and emotionally. He invaded Iran and Kuwait, leading to devastating conflicts. These wars drained the country's resources and brought immense suffering to its people. He used chemical weapons against his own people and committed countless other atrocities. The Kurdish population in particular suffered immensely under his brutal tactics. In 2003, a US-led invasion toppled Saddam's regime. The world watched as the statue of Saddam was pulled down, symbolizing the end of an era. He was captured, tried, and executed for his crimes. His trial was a moment of reckoning, not just for him, but for the entire nation. But the scars of his rule run deep. The psychological and emotional wounds inflicted by his regime continue to affect generations. Iraq is still struggling to come to terms with his legacy. The country faces ongoing challenges, from political instability to economic hardship, as it tries to rebuild and move forward. Yet, amidst the shadows, there is hope. The new generation of Iraqis dreams of a future free from the tyranny of the past, striving for peace and prosperity. The shadow of the dictator may still linger, but the dawn of a new era is on the horizon. Iraq's journey towards healing and rebuilding continues with the promise of a brighter future. Saddam Hussein was born in a village near Tikrit, Iraq in 1937. His early years were spent in a small mud-brick house surrounded by the harsh realities of rural life in Iraq. The village was isolated and opportunities were scarce, which made the struggle for survival a daily challenge. He never knew his father, who disappeared before he was born, and his mother remarried a man who was abusive. This tumultuous family life left a deep impact on young Saddam. His early life was marked by poverty and violence, which instilled in him a sense of resilience and a desire to escape his circumstances. He was often left to fend for himself, learning early on the importance of self-reliance and cunning. He joined the Ba'ath Party as a young man, drawn to its ideology of Arab nationalism and socialism. The party's vision of a united Arab world and its promise of social justice resonated with him. He saw in the Ba'ath Party a vehicle for personal advancement and a means to achieve his ambitions. The party's emphasis on strong leadership and decisive action appealed to his own burgeoning sense of destiny. Saddam quickly rose through the ranks of the party. His intelligence, combined with his willingness to take on dangerous tasks, earned him the trust of senior party members. He was known for his ability to navigate the complex and often treacherous political landscape of the time. His rise was marked by a series of calculated moves, each designed to increase his influence and power within the party. He was ruthless and ambitious, and he was not afraid to use violence to achieve his goals. His reputation for brutality grew as he eliminated anyone who stood in his way. This ruthlessness was not just a means to an end, but a core part of his strategy to instill fear and maintain control. He understood that in the volatile world of Iraqi politics, power was often secured through force and intimidation. In 1968, the Ba'ath Party seized power in a coup. This was a turning point for Saddam, as it provided him with the opportunity to solidify his position within the new regime. The coup was swift and decisive, and it marked the beginning of a new era in Iraqi politics. Saddam played a crucial role in the planning and execution of the coup, demonstrating his strategic acumen and his ability to mobilize support. Saddam, though not the official leader, became the real power behind the throne. He was the puppet master, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. His influence was pervasive, and he quickly became the de facto leader of Iraq. He used his position to shape policy and direct the course of the nation, all while maintaining a facade of loyalty to the official leaders. He used his position to consolidate his power and eliminate his rivals. Through a combination of political maneuvering and outright violence, he systematically removed anyone who posed a threat to his authority. This period was marked by purges and executions, as Saddam sought to create an environment where his power was unchallenged. His ability to outmaneuver his rivals was a testament to his political savvy and his ruthless determination. He created a vast security apparatus that spied on the Iraqi people and brutally repressed any dissent. This network of informants and secret police ensured that any opposition to his rule was swiftly and ruthlessly dealt with. The security apparatus became a key tool in maintaining his grip on power, creating a climate of fear and suspicion that permeated Iraqi society. It was a system designed to keep the population in check and to prevent any organized resistance. He also embarked on a program of rapid modernization, hoping to transform Iraq into a regional power. This included ambitious infrastructure projects such as the construction of roads, schools, and hospitals. He invested heavily in the oil industry, recognizing its potential to generate wealth and fund his vision for Iraq. However, this modernization came at a high cost, both financially and in terms of human suffering, as many projects were built on the backs of forced labor and under harsh conditions. Saddam's rise to power was fueled by a potent mix of ruthlessness, political maneuvering, and a yearning for absolute control. His ability to navigate the treacherous waters of Iraqi politics, combined with his willingness to use any means necessary to achieve his goals, set him apart from his contemporaries. He was a master of manipulation, able to play different factions against each other to his advantage. His early years, shrouded in violence and poverty, shaped his worldview and his approach to leadership. The hardships he faced instilled in him a belief in the necessity of strong, decisive leadership. He saw himself as a man of destiny, chosen to lead Iraq to greatness. This belief in his own destiny justified in his mind the extreme measures he took to secure and maintain power. This period laid the foundation for the brutal dictatorship that would grip Iraq for decades to come. Saddam's rule was characterized by a relentless pursuit of power, a willingness to use violence to achieve his ends, and a vision of Iraq as a dominant force in the region. His legacy is one of both modernization and repression, a complex and often contradictory chapter in the history of Iraq. The Ba'ath Party, a pan-Arab nationalist movement, played a pivotal role in Saddam's rise. This party, whose name means Renaissance or Resurrection, was founded in the 1940s by Michel Aflaq and Salah al-Din al-Bitar. It aimed to unify the Arab world under a single socialist state, free from Western colonial influence and interference. Founded on principles of Arab unity, socialism, and freedom from Western influence, the party found fertile ground in Iraq's post-colonial turmoil. The country, having gained independence from British rule in 1932, was rife with political instability and social unrest. The Ba'ath Party's message resonated with many Iraqis who were disillusioned with the existing political order and eager for change. Saddam, drawn to the party's ideology and its emphasis on action, quickly ascended its ranks. Born in a small village near Tikrit in 1937, Saddam's early life was marked by hardship and struggle. He joined the Ba'ath Party in 1957 at the age of 20, and soon became known for his dedication and ruthless efficiency. He used his organizational skills and ruthlessness to eliminate rivals and establish himself as a key figure within the party. Saddam's ability to navigate the treacherous waters of Iraqi politics, combined with his willingness to use violence and intimidation, made him an indispensable asset to the Ba'ath leadership. In 1968, the Ba'ath Party, under the nominal leadership of Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr, seized power in a coup. This event marked a turning point in Iraq's history, as the Ba'athists sought to implement their vision of a unified socialist Arab state. Al-Bakr, a former army officer and a relative of Saddam, became the president, but it was clear that Saddam was the power behind the throne. Saddam, although not yet the official head of state, became the driving force behind the new regime. He was appointed as the deputy chairman of the Revolutionary Command Council, the highest authority in the country, and took charge of the security services. This position allowed him to consolidate his power and eliminate any potential threats to his authority. He used his position to control the levers of power, placing loyalists in key positions within the government and the military. By doing so, Saddam ensured that he had a loyal base of support that would back him in any political maneuvering. His network of loyalists extended into every facet of Iraqi society, from the military to the bureaucracy, creating a formidable power structure. Saddam's rise to power was not a sudden coup, but a calculated and systematic takeover from within the Ba'ath Party, showcasing his cunning and ambition. Over the next decade, he methodically removed any opposition, often through brutal means, and positioned himself as the undisputed leader of Iraq. By 1979, when he officially took over as president, Saddam had already established a regime characterized by its authoritarianism and repression, setting the stage for his long and tumultuous rule. Iron Fist and Iron Curtain, the consolidation of power. Once in power, Saddam moved swiftly to consolidate his control over Iraq. He established a vast security apparatus with multiple overlapping intelligence agencies designed to monitor and suppress any form of dissent. Fear became a tool of governance. The Mukhabarat, Saddam's secret police, instilled terror through arbitrary arrests, torture, and extrajudicial killings. Anyone suspected of disloyalty, from political opponents to ordinary citizens, faced the risk of disappearing into the regime's prisons. Saddam also ruthlessly purged the Ba'ath Party itself, eliminating potential rivals and promoting those fanatically loyal to him. He instilled a climate of paranoia and suspicion, ensuring that no one felt safe enough to challenge his authority. Through a combination of brute force, intimidation, and a cult of personality, Saddam transformed Iraq into a totalitarian state, where any whisper of opposition was immediately silenced. Blood in the sand, the Iran-Iraq War. In 1980, Saddam Hussein launched a disastrous war against neighboring Iran. He miscalculated the strength of Iran's revolutionary government and believed he could achieve a swift victory. The war dragged on for 8 long years, costing hundreds of thousands of lives on both sides. The conflict became a bloody stalemate marked by trench warfare, chemical weapon attacks, and human wave assaults. Saddam's regime, despite receiving support from Western powers wary of Iran's Islamic Revolution, was pushed to the brink. The war devastated both countries' economies and left lasting scars on the region. It also had a profound impact on Saddam himself, hardening his resolve and deepening his paranoia. The Iran-Iraq War, a costly miscalculation, became a defining chapter in Saddam's rule, exposing his willingness to sacrifice countless lives for his ambitions.